So I have been playing quite a bit of CP well ever since I installed Team Fortress 2. It is a very, very fun map to play. But there are a couple issues with it that I've surprisingly not really seen on YouTube pretty much ever. And I kind of wanted to make a really quick video showing off some of the really stupid things that you can do. And I have my friend Casual M here with me to showcase some of the stuff that you can do. Because some stuff does require two players, perhaps a cooperative enemy. But it's very, very entertaining. So the first glitch, and the thing that probably a lot of people know about, and I'm not even sure if it's really a glitch, is the fact that you can go up on the rafters. All you really need to do this, or any of the weapons I have in my inventory currently, I think any of them provide you with enough jump height, and all you have to do is double jump off of the back terminal in the rocket room, and double jump with the winger up to this little lip on the rocket, and then you can go wherever the frick you want. The entirety of these rafters are walkable. Unfortunately, you cannot put buildings up here, otherwise that would make it a little bit too cheesy. There is another map that I will potentially sometime get to that you can do that with, but this you cannot. If you don't want to run all the way back and you want something a little bit quicker, you can also go on this little terminal over here, and I think, yeah, it does still require a winger double jump to get up, but there's not a ton you can do with standing up on these rafters, but it is a lot more surface area on the map that a lot of people just never really utilize. But I always prefer going up the back way because there's a little bit more of an obscure area than just the rafters, which you can kind of see my bullets like bouncing off of it right here. There's a little standable square right here that you can just barely fit on, and I have no idea how this is even possible. It's only on this side because it's the only side with an air duct, but just standing up there you're very hard to see. Like, you can see my friend is up here, and me running in, like, my HUD is covering it currently, but it's just not that hard to see. It's not a super well lit area, and it's very easy to hide, and I've gotten many a back cap doing that. I made a video a long time ago where I actually abused the crap out of that just by hiding up there and then freaking beelining it to the point. But there's a decent amount you can do with that, I suppose. And in terms of the back room, I think that's it. No, there is one more, like, miniature area you can stand, and that is this little electric box. This probably has the fewest uses out of anywhere on the entire map that I'm going to show off. But again, I'm not entirely sure why they didn't just, like, make this transparent or make this not a clip. It looks like they used just a normal brush for this, so maybe there's just, like, an oversight. I don't know. But there's just a lot of random areas you can stand. So the rocket room is not too exciting. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of people at one point or another, if you play this map, have been up on the rafters. But oh my god, we are barely scraping the surface of how dumb this map is. So running into, and these only work on blue side, mind you, not everything works on both sides. Running into the little sniper deck area, you can actually double jump onto this little pipe, and you can, I think you have to crouch, but standing here, it's really hard to see. I'm not sure why they didn't make this model, like, clippable. I really do not know why you can stand here, but it's very easy to just catch random snipers off guard. And then currently my friend is standing up here, and he's moving around a little bit, so it's kind of easy to see him. But, like, if I'm an unsuspecting sniper, I'm not gonna look up here. Literally the only reason that I can see him at all is because I have high shadow detail, and the shadow's, like, kind of drooping down. But if I'm not paying attention and I'm more focused on, like, what's going on out in the little dockyard, there would be no way I would even be able to see this. And he could just drop down and get a double force of nature tap, and I as a sniper would have no idea what's going on. And then we enter what I like to call the hallway of fun. This is probably the buggiest area in the entire map, and maybe I'm not correct in referring to these as bugs, but they're very hilarious, and I'm guessing they're not intentional. So this entire vent duct is standable. If you stand on this little landing platform here and double jump with the winger, you can barely just make it onto this little vent area. And you have a lot of walking rooms, so no matter which direction you're anticipating people coming from, it's pretty easy to just kind of stand barely out of view and ambush people. I think, especially as a scout, this is a really easy way to just kind of mess with engineers because they can't really see you. And then, as you can see, there's literally no way that I'm going to be able to see this guy. Like, if I'm running down from here and I'm not literally looking in that direction, he's pretty much invisible. Like, it's honestly ridiculous. Any direction that I come from, I think It's actually interesting too, and I was going into this with the impression of the opposite. It's easier to see somebody if they're on the side that you're on, but if they're all the way pushed back up against the vent, there's no way in heck you're going to be able to see him. It's a super easy ambush spot, and if you're using, like, the Force of Nature, it just becomes that much easier. And I think this is probably my favorite spot, but this entire hallway is just filled with these. Like, if you double jump, they did try, to their credit, they did try to make this a slippery surface. Like, you can see I kind of slide off of it. But the thing with the Source engine is that triangles have 1 pixel where you can stand on, and you don't slide off. So all you have to do is just, like, if you barely make it, like, yeah, he made it up there, you can stand right on top of the exit sign, and you're within, like, ramp-up scattergun range, so, like, I'm not gonna see him when I come up this ramp. I'm gonna get obliterated if I'm an unsuspecting sniper or engineer. But then there's more. This vent, too, you can also go up on, and it's pretty easy to not be able to see them. Like, my friend's up there now, and if I run up, I literally have no indication he's there. No shadow, no anything. And it's like directly within scattergun ramp up range. You are going to 2-tap anybody that comes down. I think, yeah, you actually can get a meat shot. And then, finally, these lights are standable as well, and I actually remember accidentally doing this is when I was trying to record a video one time where I was trying to escape somebody, and I, like, accidentally double jumped up here. And, I don't know why you would use this instead of hiding up on this vent, because it is a little bit farther away, so you're gonna get less pellets hitting. But both signs and both lights are standable. And, it's so cheesy to ambush people with. And I should point out, too, I've been using Scout for all of these to show, because I think Scout's the easiest to get around with. But if you're good at Soldier, Demoman, and I think some of these actually do work with, Detonator jumping as Pyro, too, which can lead to some very interesting, situations. I guess you have the jetpack if you don't want to detonator jump. But there's a lot of potential. You don't just have to be Scout if that's what you were concerned about trying to do these. So then moving out into the courtyard, I'll get to what's broken on red sides in a minute. This is just a neat little glitch that I don't see a lot of people doing, and I don't even think it's a glitch. It's just a neat little feature. You actually don't have to have any mobility items as Scout to get up to this little ledge. You can actually double jump onto these windowsills, and if you do 2 crouch jumps, you can get all the way up onto this little area. And I think, yeah, normally you have to at least have, like, the Force of Nature or one of the items in my inventory. But with the little windowsill thing, you don't. I mean, it's not anything huge. It's just something that is very useful, especially for round setup, that I don't really see a ton of people do ever. Mid, all in all, is pretty devoid of anything interesting happening. The only place that I think is actually interesting is you can go on these little lamp sill thingies here. It's a bit tricky. You do have to have both the winger and the Force of Nature, but you can get from the midpoint up to here. And like I said, there's not that much that's actually, like, going to be benefited, because, I mean, you can get a pretty good ambush spot on one of the exits, but you're basically relying on, like, the enemy not coming in the other side and then just shooting at you immediately. I'm sure somebody could find a use for this, but I really haven't ever. And then before somebody asks, no, you can't stand on these objects. None of the lamps here are anything. And I think there's like a loudspeaker or something on blue side. Those are transparent. They actually remembered to make the game correctly with those. Most of these are not, though. Now, because blue has a little bit more of an industrial aesthetic, they do have a little bit more random bits and jangles floating out about that you can jump onto. But there is one jump that I found that's kind of useful on the red side. And I guess the exit signs are still there too. But it's a bit tricky, so you have to stand on the landing here. You can double jump up onto this windowsill, and then it's really freaking hard to do if you don't have the atomizer, but you drop down and then double jump up onto this light. And it's not as good of an ambush spot as on blue team, but it's still kind of hard to see you. I mean, like, most of your model is obscured by the wall when you're standing up. And, I mean, you are crouching with it normally, but now my friend's up here. As I'm running down, I can't really see him. I got, like, a very quick glance at his shoe, but, like, if I didn't know people were actively doing that, I would have no idea he's up there. The sad part about Red Tunnel is it doesn't work for people coming up. Like, I can pretty obviously see him here. But if they have, like, engineers or snipers or or something that like to run from their rocket room back to here. It's like, it's really easy to run down. And that's the only thing that I found in red tunnels. I guess they still do have the lights or something that you can stand on. That's constant in both. But it's kind of sad that red just doesn't have as many cool things to do. I'm sure most people know about this because this is kind of like the unique feature of this map. But you can, in fact, go all the way to the opponent's back lines during setup if you're fast enough. I wasted a little bit too much time, but I'm on their side of the map right now. Literally all you have to do is just dump over the train with the atomizer, and perhaps I can make it all the way back. But it's a neat feature. It's what makes this map a little bit more interesting. Like, yeah, I'm all the way at their spawn, literally before the round has even started. You can be really annoying as scout with that, but like I said, that's a pretty known one. I'm not counting that as a glitch before you comment angrily about that. And then finally, I promised you that this was a glitch video, and right now it's just like, wow, here are things that you can stand on that probably aren't intentional. There is a massive, massive glitch with this that I want to talk about, and that is that you can let the enemy into your spawn if you have a partner taunt. So you can high-five me if I stand in just the right position, and I found right here, like kind of halfway in between, my crosshairs barely off to the side, and right above this like floor tile texture is like the best way to do it. And he's stuck in the door, but if I stand back a little bit, I can actually just completely clip him through this. And he can run around in my spawn now, and there's nothing that they can do. And the fun fact about this, and this is a video that I really wish I could have made, is I managed to get a heavy medic combo into my spawn one time, and they literally just sat there and Ubered and got on like a 45 kill streak because people died the second they spawned. And it's very, very funny because there's not much you can do about it. Now, he can't get out. That's the only thing, is you're trapped in the Thunderdome here. But if you need a place to hide, hey, here's another thing I forgot about. You can double jump onto this little freaking lamp, and you're kind of invisible if you're not paying attention. And like, I spawn in right about here, and it's not that hard to actually see him. But like, when you spawn in and you're facing forward, most people aren't gonna think, oh, I wonder if there's somebody in my spawn on top of a lamp fixture. So you're practically invisible. You're out of the range that most people would think to look. But this is probably, they were supposed to patch this, I think, back in like 2015, and this is one of 2 maps that I'm aware of that this still works on. And hey, maybe I'll do a video abusing the crap out of this. I hate to turn into Delphi, but this is a lot of fun. The back spawn is the easiest to let people in, but I do believe, if I remember correctly, this works with all of them. It's just a lot more precise on these. Yep, there we go. So I guess the magic formula is stand like kind of in the middle of the brown tile here. I don't know. You can figure it out yourself just based on where I'm standing. But it is possible to get people in every spawn, I believe. And mid has to be capped for you to be able to get in this one. And it doesn't work as well for this one because it's a lot smaller. And that means that if you're like, there really isn't any cover if you're an enemy just shooting at people spawning. But it is still something that's kind of neat. And I guess you can just stand right there on top of the resupply cabinet if you want to be annoying. So that's kind of funny. And then finally we have the last point spawn, where if you've capped all except for the last point, you can get into here. And this is pretty brain dead to do. The problem with doing this is just chances are, right, if you're playing CP well and the point that you're trying to capture is like in the very back of the enemy's base, you're gonna be respawning a lot, and you're not going to have the time to let someone in. And besides that, once you're out of spawn, you can't get back in. Like, there's no resupply cabinet or anything, so it's a lot harder to set up than it is the back room. So if you want to try this yourself, you can do it on the back room. But frankly, I'm just blown away that, like, there is a map where supposedly a glitch that has been patched you can really easily do with literally every single spawn room in the game. And then the final kind of a glitch that I'll be talking about right now is a little bit less practical, but it's something that I'm sure has potential if you can find the right use for it. So normally, they made most of the surfaces that you can get to have no build limits. So that means that, like, you can't put buildings and whatnot. And even back here, which I know was a pretty common one in TF2, like 2007, if you still have the orange box, you can do it on there. Like, these little areas you could build as engineer, and it was really funny. But they made these no builds. But there's an interesting feature of CP Well back area where there's a little bit of a platform. It's like an invisible thing that you can put buildings on. Now, again, I'm not Delphi. I have no idea, like, what the process of discovering this is, but this is somewhere that you can put buildings, and you don't even have to be, like, here, I'll go, like, kind of below it. You don't have to be actually, like, on top of the thing. Like, I am completely below the thing right now, and I can still build a building. So I'm sure it is possible to do. I just have no idea how to actually do it. And yep, here we are. We're on top of the skybox, and everything up here is buildable. Yeah, they're like weird platforms. I don't even know why they bothered modeling these. Like, there's no reason why this should even be solid in the first place, but there's a decent amount of potential up here. Again, I have not found a way to get up here, but in my experience of no clipping around, this is somewhere that you can go. And then you can also, for what it's worth, put buildings in the little, like, these rooms. Yeah, I don't know what this would be useful for, but, like, I think there is a version of CP Well that has, like, all the windows and stuff removed and you can go anywhere, so maybe for that you have another sentry room. I don't know. So anyway, that is CP Well, and how just dumb this map is. Like I said, this isn't something that I normally do. This is usually Delphi territory or something like that, but I literally have not seen anybody else on YouTube talk about this map, and I used to play on this map like 24/7. This used to be my favorite map, and well, I guess now we figured out why in hindsight. So thank you for watching. If you want me to either abuse the glitches I talked about in this video or cover the other map that I said this works on, there is one more map that I'm thinking of that's like super broken as well. Just let me know in the comments, and maybe your dreams will come true. Who really is to say? Yeah, thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, and then have a good one.